Paul Tudor Jones, though. I thought literally I couldn't stop taking notes fast enough because I thought everything he said was a roadmap for how we should be thinking about the markets this week with the Fed meeting coming up midweek.
I like to go over everything that's happening this morning with the research, what's going on in the papers, what people are saying. Forget that. I stopped. I stopped because of Paul Tudor Jones, because he is such an influential person. I think anyone who's worked with him know he's a great person. And he did lay out a rather stark view about what's going to happen later this week. So for anyone who is trying to make sense of what can happen, he did indeed put it on a silver platter.
He teed up the debate so well as to what is taking place in the marketplace right now, what the Fed should do and when. Are things overheated or not? And what happens if the Fed actually does talk about tapering and acknowledge that they're moving closer? He says there's going to be a taper tantrum. All this against the backdrop of the S&P 500 at a closing high.
Look, if you listen to him and you listen closely, what he's saying is there probably will be a state of the course. And at the state of the course, he's all in the inflation trade. And we've got the ones that you need. I mean, you can argue it's Bitcoin, you can argue it's gold, or frankly, it's just go right back to Freeport, go right back to Caterpillar, go right back to Alcoa, which got a number bump today. Just go right back to those stocks, which is not what the market was doing last week. Those stocks cooled off. Take a look at Caterpillar. It's the one I really focus on, just as a kind of analog, just crushed. And we went back to, yes, FANG. And we went back, Apple just not, you just go back to call it FANG. But we were buying the drug stocks furiously, including ones that aren't doing well. So obviously, to me, the market is out of sync with what Paul Tudor Jones is saying, which means Wednesday is going to be incredibly dramatic either way. They either have a taper tantrum, market goes down, or we have a totally different trade that starts going higher from last week. I don't even know whether he knew what he was saying was as earth-shaking as it was.
He said that the NASDAQ, if the Fed, let's say the Fed does nothing this week and says nothing and sort of stays the course, he said the NASDAQ could go up another 20% from here. Just basically between now and the end of the year, because of the amount of buying that they're going to do.
Right, because what he's saying is, look, business is not going to cool down, and you can be in those stocks. I like a combination of the barbell of being, like our friend Stephanie Link.
That's right.
I want to be in the metals. I think those go higher. I want to be in certainly anything involving just rapid industrial. But he's also saying be in the semis, because that's what the NASDAQ is. And that group has fallen out of favor. My head was spinning. Because what it said to me was, somebody's going to be so wrong this week that the turmoil on a Wednesday in June, where people aren't even paying attention, the turmoil is going to be radical. And he says it in his usual calm manner. Yeah. But I was taking notes and I'm saying, oh my, Wednesday. I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. So everyone kind of felt it's just going to be business as usual. He's saying it's not business as usual.
Anything but. So he said right now he's 5% gold, 5% cash, 5% commodities, 5% Bitcoin. Says, I'm not sure what to do with the other 80%. I need to wait and see what the Fed says, if anything, on Wednesday, and then I'm going to position myself accordingly.
Look, I found myself thinking, okay, but what's Tepper going to say? Because he laid out this agenda of who's interviewing people. You have Druckenmiller doing the interviewing. And I say to myself, I want people at home to recognize these are not the typical billionaires and not the good billionaire versus the bad billionaire in the New York Times. Like, a guy like Tepper might just say, look, you buy the banks in this situation. If there's a taper tantrum.
Well, that's part of the reflation trade, is it not?
I think it is, but he may say, look, you want to buy him for volatility. You want to buy Goldman. You want to buy, remember, he worked at Goldman. I just think that what's going to happen is not what's expected. And you've got to tune into his programs, to the conference. You've got to tune into the Goldman piece today, which says basically Jay's right. I'm with Jay.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.